Hey guys, what's up? What's up? Welcome back to my channel. Lovely to have you back. Right, today we're going to be talking about Sadio Mane going to Bayern Munich. Apparently, excuse me. Apparently, the fee's been agreed. The fee's been. I'm aggrieved actually. I'm aggrieved that he's going. The fee's been agreed for him to go to Bayern Munich. We're also going to be talking about the lack of transfer activities because it seems like Liverpool have done in the transfers market now. Do you know what I mean? I know I'm an R bit much, but sometimes trying to get the words out. Do you know what I mean? Difficult. Yeah. So the lack of transfer activities in this transfer market. Also, we're going to be talking about the Nat Phillips when we come back. I'm going to be joined by my learned friend, my little bro, Nick. He's going to be joining me as well. So we'll be back with the show.
T-minus 1 minute. T-minus 50 seconds. T-minus 40 seconds. T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hey guys, back again, back now. Yes, so we're going to talk about Sadio Mane. Now, apparently, Hassan Salah, oh God, I can't pronounce his name. Amavid Zik, oh, it's just a long name, can't pronounce it. I'm going to call him Hassan. He's a sporting director of Bayern Munich, and he's been chasing Sadio Mane for his signature to come to Bayern Munich. Now, initially, when they started the negotiations, Bayern Munich didn't meet the validation of the player, so it was getting knocked back. So I think first they came with something like 23 million euros. That got rejected. Then they came with 30 million euros with a 5 million add-on. 5 million add-on, do you know what I mean? That was depending on something unrealistic. It was very unrealistic. That was depending on the fact of if Mane wins 3 Ballon d'Ors on a run, he's going to get obviously 5 million. We get a 5 million top up, the add-ons and everything like that. So Liverpool quite rightly said to that, no way. Nah, that's not work. It's unrealistic anyway. That's a person that can win 3 Ballon d'Ors in a row, unless your name is Messi or Ronaldo. Do you know what I mean? So that was a bit of an unrealistic thing for us to do. So we said no to that one. We turned them down, and then apparently what they've come with now, they've come with the asking price of what we want. You know what I mean? What we want for the actual player, they come with the asking price. It's something like £42 million. Yeah, £42 million. That we was asking for Sadio Mane. Firstly, I think we should have asked for a lot more than that. We should have asked for a lot more than that. But it's 42 minutes and I meet the validation of the actual player, which at the end of the day, that kind of like really cheered me up. You know what I mean? Really cheered me up. So I just want to let you know, guys, I'm live on YouTube. I'm live on YouTube at the moment. I'm live on Twitter. I've got a link out on my Instagram, which is Anfield Rods Anthony Rods and that. So I've got a link of that to actually watch the show and for that. So obviously, you know, like and subscribe and let me know what you think. Now, this transfer is a bit of a weird one to me. This transfer is a bit of a weird one to me because, like, I tend to think at the end of the day, sort of like, but this way, I was always wondering why Mane wants to leave anyway. I was only wondering why, because, like, you know, we're in such a good position as we are now. Do you know what I mean? With, like, you know, winning trophies, beat and chasing Man City, you know, and even down to the style of football that we're playing. You know, the style of football we're playing is, you know, we're in a good position. Do you know what I mean? And I was always wondering why he wanted to leave, but, you know, it kind of like a couple of months ago, you know, come out of it and stuff, and, you know, it seems like everything now is actually a gathering pace, and it's actually going to happen. He's actually going to leave the club. Now, I think I put it down to the day he wasn't treated right at Liverpool. I don't think they didn't treat him right, because even when it comes down to the wages, he was getting 10,000 more than what Jota was. Do you know what I mean? And he had people like Sadio was on, like, you know, over 200, was that 200 grand or something like that. Do you know what I mean? So it kind of like, to me, and I think that it kind of like made me kind of feel kind of like, I don't know, it just made me feel kind of wrong. Do you know what I mean? It's like, how can you sort of like have such a good player like that? Do you know what I mean? One, at the end of the day, having a so, do you know what I mean, so low wages. You know, one second. I'm going to. There you go. Take this off. Yeah. Don't need to have that on there. Anyway, so, you know what I mean? It's just, to me, it's very confusing. Do you know what I mean? It's very confusing, that fact. And we're losing a vital player. We're losing a really vital player. And then it's like, you know, I just think at the end of the day, oh God, this is horrible. Mane is such a vital player for us. That's what I just don't get. I think Mane is such a vital player for us. Do you know what I mean? I can't understand that, and they sort of like, you know, how they're letting him go. Why not just give him more money? You know what I mean? You let him Bayern Munich take such a great player like that. He's a great player. Do you know what I mean? A really great player. Do you know what I mean? It's just horrible to see him go. You know, 100 grand a week he was on. 100 grand a week that Sadio Mane was on, you know. You know what I mean? It's horrible. You know what I mean? And like, yeah, a bit like some Mane, like some Mane had to just sort of like, you know, deal with it. And the likes of like Salah, and they was on more money than him and everything that, and complaining that he wants more money. And that's what I'm trying to say. We're not sure we're going to keep Salah as well, because Salah can run down his contract. Do you know what I mean? It can literally run down his contract, and that's a frightening thing about it. That's the most frightening thing about it. He can literally run down his contract. So it's just not good. Do you know what I mean? I mean, before even going, actually, it silenced me, to be honest. And another thing, what I want to talk about, I think that it's come out by Paul Joyce, and I think that Liverpool are not going to do any more transfers this season. That's it. That's it. I mean, you know, you're killing me. You're kidding me. You're not going to do any more transfers. It's just not good. It's just not good. All right. hold on, just check something. Yeah. They're not going to do more transfer this season. Apparently, come up with Paul George and said that's their business concluded in the day for the transfer window this season. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? You brought in a player at the end of the day that's supposed to be replacement for Mane. So that tells me at the end of the day, had Mane not said he was leaving, you wouldn't have bought a player like Darwin Núñez. You wouldn't have bought a player like him. And don't get wrong, guys, and I think that I'm really happy in getting Darwin Núñez. I think Darwin is a good signing, but it's still a risk. You know what I mean? You know? Anyway, you brought in two youngsters and I think that. Two youngsters, you know. Calvin Ramsey, that's imminent. That's going to come. It's going to happen. Do you know what I mean? Because the fee's been agreed and that. Something like 10 million. It's like, I think it's like 5 million rising up to sort of 10. That's how they do it. So you would pay 10 million for Calvin Ramsey, and then, you know, and he's on 18, and you got Fabio Carvalho, where he spent about, £6 quid, six quid, you know, it's not that. 6 million. You spent 6 million on Calvin Ramsey. Do you know what I mean? And no, shit, you get it wrong, sorry. My head's just confused. You paid 10 million on Calvin Ramsey, yeah, and you're paying. Let me refresh this. Yeah, refresh this. I'm just like, you can tell that last night I didn't get much sleep because it was really hot yesterday and I didn't get much sleep, so I'm kind of falling more worse. You know what I mean? So please excuse me. Sorry, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. Just like tiredness is kicking in. But I had to come and bring you this stream, this video. Right, you spent 10 million on Calvin Ramsey and I think that, which is 18 years old. Now he's got to develop, yeah? You're spending another 6 or so million. I think about 6 or so million on Fabio Carvalho. Now he's coming from the championship and everything that. So he's got to develop. These are all too young and everything that. So what you're saying now is that Liverpool, bro's there. I'll bring my bro in.
Yeah. Just
What's good?
Yeah, hold on. Ah, hello. Apologies for being late. Well, many men to many.
You sort of Wi-Fi fella.
Anyway, sorry.
Look at Wi-Fi thing on going brother.
Hold on.
Is that wrong with your Wi-Fi, dog?
My Wi-Fi is fine. I don't know about yours. Hello? Hello? Okay. Can you hear me okay?
This thing's smash up in the dark. Nicholas. Can you? All right. Hold on. Yeah, Nicholas.
Yes, I can.
Do you hear me?
Well, I can hear you fine. Well, fine-ish.
I can hear you.
but-
Yeah, I can hear you.
And you can you hear me fine?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Excellent. Right. Well.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. Oh, right. Yeah. So.
I'm getting a bit of a. I'm getting a bit of a like.
Yeah, I'm getting like a bit of a vibration, and it's not good vibrations. It's just vibration.
Yeah, I'm getting a type like.
Kind of like feedback type thing.
Wait. Jesus Christ. Annoying. So annoying. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I'm here now.
Yeah. Can you hear me properly now? Can you hear properly now?
No, I've still got a bit of feedback, but it's okay. I can hear you well enough to continue.
Okay. No, I was just chatting about the fact that I talked about Sadio Mane. Yeah. I talked about him, and then I was just talking on the fact that when they sort of like that we're not going to make no. Apparently, at the end of the day, our transfer activities is finished now. That's it. Do you know what I mean? Now I think so. Are you fucking kidding me? Do you know what I mean? Are you fucking kidding me? You know what I mean? How could that be sort of like? I can sort of like this transfer window. This transfer window. It's been open a week. You're telling me at the end of the day, you had Fabio Carvalho. You had that sewn up sort of like months ago. Yeah, you had that sewn up and the fit sewn up. You had Karen Ramsey and the thing. That's an easy something to do. That was gonna be easy. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now you brought in Darwin Núñez at the day. That's possibly replacement for Mane. So that tells me is at the end of the day, if Mane stayed and everything that right, the only two players that we would have bought at the end of the day was Calvin Ramsey and Fabio Carvalho. That was the only two players we'd have bought, and that would have been a combined thing about 16 million. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, to be honest, today, right, I have to blame Klopp. I think Klopp at the end of the day is complicit in this. I think he's complicit in this because there's no way at the end of the day you're going to be signing a contract extension for 2 years if you're not happy with what's going on with Liverpool at the moment. And you know what I mean? What's going on at the moment, or what's been happening overall since you've been in charge. There's no way you're going to sign a contract extension. So that tells me at the end of the day, right, they're both in cahoots together, FSG and Klopp and for that. Klopp's going back to FSG and everything, and telling FSG, now we don't need no more players and everything that, right? We've got a good enough because it is. Yeah. FSG, instead of FSG questioning that, they're going, all right, fine. We'll just do something else. Do you know what I mean? Yeah? And we end up at the end of the day falling short at hurdles. Do you know what I mean? Like, i.e. Champions League, you know what I mean? I.e. the league, you know what I mean? Just think even then, because if we had an out-and-out striker at the end of the day, right, in our squad and everything, just think what we could have been able to accomplish. You know what I mean? Able to accomplish everything that. And to me, it's annoying me because what they're saying, and even in the case of Jude Bellingham, they're saying like, oh, they're going to go for next season. You don't know if he's going to run next season to buy. Do you know what I mean? You waited all that time for Tchouaméni and everything that, right? And you showed Tchouaméni around your ground and everything that, right? And he said, nah, you know what? I'm going to Madrid. Do you know what I mean? You should have had a plan B. You know what I mean? The next best thing to this fella to bring in, but they haven't. It looks like, and they're not going to touch the midfield, and the midfield is dry. It's dry because what you got in it, you got all these players in midfield of it, and they're all doing the same thing. They're all doing the same job. They're just literally doing the same thing. You know what I mean? There ain't nobody in that midfield that's doing anything different. Backwards, forwards, sideways, pass forward. And once they pass forward and everything that, right? Once they pass forward, yeah. Yeah, once they pass forward and everything that, yeah, what happens is these people and they just like regroup and everything that, and ain't nothing getting through them. Then Liverpool's frustrated. You saw the game of Champions League and everything that. We couldn't get past them. And that was an ordinary Real Madrid team. That team was ordinary and everything that. But we haven't got the tools at the day to get the job done. Because every year that we do a transfer and everything that, we never do a proper transfer. We never go out and get players at the day that we need for key areas. We never do it. We always get one or two here, wait till next season, one or two here, wait till next season. And what makes you laugh at it for that? You see all that, the Minamino and what's his name, Goksay Chamberlain. They might sell them man there. They might sell them man. Ain't even looking to replace them. They're not looking to replace them. They sell the man off for them. I say, yeah, we'll be all right in the midfield. We've got anything now. Then what's going to happen? Then Flacco's going to get injured. Hender's going to get injured. Anything now. Thiago's going to get injured. You know for that, right? And we ain't going to have a fucking midfield. We ain't going to have a midfielder. It's, to me, at the end of the day, Klopp has to take some of the criticism, a huge amount of criticism for this and for that, because Klopp's going back to the board and saying, "Now we're all right." You know what I mean? And the board ain't jumping in and saying, "No, you're not all right, actually, Klopp. You need to plug up this hole. You need to plug up that hole. You need to plug up that hole, and everything that. You need to do that, and he ain't gonna do it by not buying a player, waiting till the right player comes available, or like promoting them from the academy and stuff. You understand what I'm saying? It's ridiculous.
This is where kind of like I disagree, because at the end of the day, when it comes to Klopp, he is, whether you like it or not, he's the kind of face of Liverpool. So if Liverpool aren't successful, he takes the blame. It's at his door that it all falls apart, right? Looking at players, I would say it would be nice to have a creative midfielder in there, somebody that will be able to provide, do something special with the ball, because when we were up against Madrid and when we were up against a number of other teams, we weren't able to do that. You see what I'm saying? And again, we lost the lead by a point. Yeah. Personally, I can't see, I could be wrong, and I'm always ready to be corrected. I can't see anyone that is currently available that Liverpool could get and bring into their squad. Because whether we like it or not, the Fenway Sports Group, they are a business. You know what I mean? It's not like we had a sugar daddy that we could go to and say, right, listen, I want to sign X player and I need 30 million to do that. FSG are a business. So if they say, okay, you've got to sell this player before you get that player, unfortunately, that's the way it goes. But I think that the Liverpool side with Núñez and with people like Harvey Elliott and with Thiago as well, and his experience and his skill on the ball, I think Liverpool are strong enough again to challenge for the league and to challenge in Europe. I sincerely do.
But it would be
nice. Yeah, but hold on. It would be nice for Liverpool to have another player or two, but I can't see anyone who's got a price tag that Liverpool could address. It's, and the only, I hate to say it, but the only team I can see really challenging Liverpool next season are Manchester City. I can't see Arsenal or Tottenham or Man United doing anything. Not least because there's rumours that Ronaldo might be going to Roma or Sporting Lisbon. So, you know, I can't see any other team challenging Liverpool. And it's not, I know that a lot of people look at Liverpool and think, oh, the way that they play is so, it's so regular, you know, pass to the side. But what I think Klopp has managed to do whilst being there is he's managed to improve the way that some of these players are running off the ball. You see what I mean? Because by running off the ball sometimes you can then create space, you can then create openings, and that's when people like your Henderson, whether Salah drops back, grabs hold of the ball and slots something through, or whether Firmino can do that. I personally, he did well while he's been there, but I wouldn't really miss Oxlade-Chamberlain because you compare him to Minamino, and I'm grateful that Minamino is still there. I'm not sure if they're going to get rid, but I can't see Oxlade-Chamberlain again. And when you say Liverpool need more players, we need more transfers, who in particular have you got in mind? Because that's the one thing that I used to say about Houllier. He was always buying midfielders, yeah. And I was saying, oh, and people used to say, oh, he needs to get other players. And then I thought, actually, who could he get? At that time, he could have got Damien Duff, and Damien Duff was at Chelsea. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, if he'd have gone there, yeah, and said, right, I'm willing to give you X amount of money if we could have Damien Duff, that would be brilliant because he had a lot of pace. He was doing special good things on the ball. But unfortunately, we didn't actually go there and try and get him off Chelsea. Is there anyone that you think Liverpool should be looking at buying that we've not got at the moment?
Right, so basically at the end of the day, it's like this. Right? Let me come with this blood clot thing. Basically, it is like this, yeah? I don't want to be challenging anymore. We're always freaking challenging. Every season, we're always challenging. I want to accomplish things now. And that's what I'm saying. Because you see what it was and everything that, right? You look at many years ago, when we were like 80s coming off the 90s and everything that, right? When like Man United wasn't really a force and everything that, and then it got into 90s and everything that, started to fix up on the shop and everything that. All that time and everything that, right? We got too complacent in what we're doing. We got too complacent in our structure. So what actually happened in that, right, is what Man United was doing was getting key players. Excuse me. Getting key players for certain areas and everything that, right? And all of a sudden that day, these players were forced. These players were forced and everything that, and there was like going on some things, started winning things, and so on and so on, and the rest is history. I don't want to be sort of like, you know, for instance, they win the league one year and everything that, it takes about 5 or 6 years to win the next one. Do you know what I mean? Win the Champions League one year and everything that, right? It takes about 10 years to win the next one because there's a 14-year gap between winning the Champions League in 2005 and then we win it again. You know what I mean? Yeah. For the 6th time. Yeah. There's a 14-year gap. That's too much. That's too much of a gap. When you got people like Real Madrid and everything that win it over and over and over and over again. Because they get key players for key areas and all that. That's what they do. They bought Camavinga and everything that, right? Which is a good player. He's a key player for his area and everything that. Now they got down to the many, which we was chasing and everything like that, right? But he decided to go to Real Madrid. I get it. Most of the kids, like they, when they're growing up and everything now, especially in Europe, they dream of playing for Real Madrid. You know what I mean? Yeah. They don't necessarily dream of playing for Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? Although Liverpool is obviously a massive club and everything that have done big things in it, they still don't. And for now, fair enough, you're gonna go. There's Jude Bellingham's there. Jude Bellingham's there. Go and get Jude Bellingham. Go and make them an offer and everything that, right? And go and get him. Do you know what I mean? There's another midfielder, black guy. I can't remember his name. Seriously, name will lose me right now. Everything that. Go and get him. There's pace out there and that Liverpool can go and get and everything that. But what is with Liverpool and everything that? Sometimes they got to realise at the end of the day, right? You can't always get what you want, as in a player and everything that. So then, if you can't get this player and everything that, right? Always have a strategy to get another player. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's going to do the business and everything that. Don't put all your eggs in one basket and say, "No, you know what? We couldn't get to them anyway for that. We're not going to bother to next season to get Jude Bellingham next season and for that." And by that time and for that, right, it'd be out of your hands. I mean,
but the problem is,
hold on, Real Madrid at the day, yeah. Real Madrid are already sniffing around Jude Bellingham right now. I'm telling you, they're sniffing around Jude Bellingham right now. And the fact of like people like what's his name, Minamino and Oxlade-Chamberlain for that. I rate Oxlade-Chamberlain, but they don't play him. They don't play him.
Yeah.
Play the man. Play them. The thing is about there's no point at the end of the day in getting rid of those two players because that's what they're looking to do. There's no point in getting rid of those two players and from that if you're not going to bring anybody in. What's the point? How does your team get
because
stronger?
they're not playing. But
he's not playing them. He's not playing them. You got them at your disposal and think that, right? You got them at your disposal. Play them. Or if you're not going to play them, get rid and bring something in that you are going to play. Do you know what I mean? Not true. Bring something in that you are going to play. There's no point at the day saying, well, you know, we've got rid of Oxlade-Chamberlain and everything that. We got rid of Minamino because they weren't good enough and everything that. Okay, who did you bring in? Oh, well, you know what? We're going to reevaluate and see who we can bring in next season.
Because at the end of the day, they're probably thinking in our under 23s, we've got players that are.
They're not ready yet because these guys are not ready because these guys and the under 23. I don't want to hear nothing about the under 23s and everything that because not everybody can be a trend. Not everybody can. You look at like Curtis. Look at Curtis Jones at the day. He's come up and everything on 23s and everything that, right? Yeah. Apart from one standout game that he had with Everton and everything that, he hasn't really sort of like, you know, cut it. He hasn't really cut it as such. Till people
he hasn't had games.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, so exactly. That's exactly my point in the fact at the day of like Oxlade-Chamberlain and Minamino. That's exactly my point. You can't not right. You cannot sort of like say, right, you know what, in the day, don't give them games and everything that. Yeah. And then when you do bring them in and everything that, right, expect them to be sort of like, you know, amazing and everything that. It's not gonna happen that way. They have to start getting used to playing again regularly or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But the things about it, think that, right? Because these guys are not ready. And it's a bit unfair to bring these guys in the under-23s, right? In a top flight team and everything that said, right, yeah, man, go and do your thing. It's unfair. It's too much pressure. Look what happened to Nico Williams. Nico Williams, they had him in the team. He had one bad game and everything that, right? Where it was a bad game and everything that, right? And from then everything that he couldn't do anything right. Even if he had good games and everything that, right? He couldn't do anything right. The point is at the day there are players out there and everything that can fit Klopp's system, fit your system of why you want to play anything now, right? And you have to go out there and look. You have to draw up a list of players at the day that you want to get and think that you want to get these players and think that, right? So if that one fails, you can go to that one on that one. You understand what I'm saying? There are players out there. You cannot tell me today that Jurgen Klopp, with all the clout that he has and everything, he can't find a midfielder. Nobody can tell me he can't find a midfielder. Do you know what I mean? Or two. We need two. We need two midfielders. We're going to go back. We're going to go to the season, and then we're going to go to the season, and with the same dry ass midfielder that we've got. Henderson, Fabinho.
Yeah, I don't think it's dry. I don't.
It is dry because they're doing this. It's because they're doing the same thing. Not one of those players at the day in that midfield and everything that. Not one of them is doing anything different. Not one of them. Yeah, I'm telling you,
Thiago is doing something different. Thiago is doing something different to Henderson and Navigator.
How often does how often? Number one, how often does Thiago play without getting an injury? And number two, and I think that right, he wasn't that different because he couldn't unlock Real Madrid that night. There, he couldn't unlock a basic back four. That back four was basic, and you could not unlock that. Thiago and that's one Champions League medals at the day with Barcelona, and he's won it with Bayern Munich and everything that. Yeah, European honours and everything that, right? Should have been able to unlock that Real Madrid side that night there. But he couldn't unlock that side. Nobody could unlock that side. Neither Naby could unlock it, Thiago, Fabinho, Henderson. None of them, man, they could unlock the side of it because they're all doing things different, man. They all wasn't doing anything different than the rest of them. Naby Keita come on and that. And it's like, what are you doing? Do you know what I mean? You're just doing what he's doing. Do you know what I mean? You're literally doing what he's doing. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying is that you're always going to be challenging. You're always going to be challenging at the day for challenging to sort of like try and see if you can get the Premiership. You're always going to try to get the Champions League and everything like that. You're always going to challenge to do this and that. I don't want to be challenging anymore. I want to be winning shit. I want to be winning European honours and everything like that. I want to be winning the league and everything. I don't have to wait 10 years.
That's always the way, Rod. Like everybody wants to be
but the fact is
the top five or the top four. Yeah, go on.
They're not putting it. Liverpool are not putting themselves in a position to actually achieve that goal because we're always falling short when it comes to transfers and playing the season. We're always falling short of this one player or two. Last season at the right? And we said last season and season before that and the season before that, yeah, I've been calling out at the day for an out-and-out striker and everything that. An out-and-out striker and everything that. It proved that we needed an out-and-out striker at that Real Madrid final. It proved it because they knew they literally knew what people like Luis Diaz were going to do, and they knew exactly what Salah was going to do. They knew. They had the man in their pockets, man. They knew what it was going to do. In fact, what kills me, annoys me, that was such a basic back four and such a basic midfield and everything that, right? And we could do fuck all. Because you know why? Because every season and day, right, it comes to the transfer window and everything that, right? We're always at the day left wanting everything that. After the Champions League, playing the Champions League with Real Madrid the first time, at that time, a couple of years back, when Ramos done Salah and everything that, right? We come out that season and everything that, right? A man said, yo, big man, listen, you know what I mean? We're going to start to transfer the thing and everything that, the transfers. Didn't really buy anybody substantial. He gone through and he won the Champions League, yeah? After the Champions League and that, right, he's told it today he's going to get any player that he wants. You know what I mean? He's going to get any player that he wanted in that, right? We brought in Seth Vandenberg from Holland, from some two big club in Holland and from that, for him to develop, you know, for him to develop. We brought Harvey Elliott as a 16-year-old and everything that, right, to develop and everything that. We're too big of a club at the day to bring people in to develop. So you spent a combined figure of about 6 million on two players and everything that, right? We won the league. We won the league that season and everything that, and it was one of the reasons why we got to win the league and everything that, right, was the fact that they sort of like Man City didn't capitalize on their transfers. But we did play well that season and everything that, yeah. We're always falling short and everything that in the thing. Nobody would have thought at the day that sort of like Virgil van Dijk and everything that was going to get injured and everything that. Nobody thought at the day that sort of like Gomez was going to get injured. We had 3 defenders at the end of the day out. We had 3 defenders out and everything that, right? Yeah. We had to play 2 midfielders at the end of the day, right? In defense and everything that, yeah. We should never ever, this is Liverpool, we should never ever on God's green earth get to a position that we're doing that. We should never have to do that. We should always have our supplies. We should always have a supply. But Liverpool and they, Klopp's going back to my man and for that. Klopp's going back to FSG and saying that he's happy. He's going back to he's happy because
he's lost Mane, and they've said, listen, you're losing Mane. Try and because he noticed. He noticed Nunes a couple of years back. He was like, this boy's tasty, right? But I think Liverpool are always competing for stuff. I think they are always competing for stuff. It's just a shame, right, that sometimes we are unable to perform at a level with the players that we've got to actually win what we want to win. I can see your frustration, but I don't think it's anywhere near as bad as you think. Honestly,
no,
because and again, it's for me, it's just one of those things that I trust in Jurgen Klopp, and I trust in what the club is doing. I do believe, though, that FSG could kind of loosen the purse strings a little bit.
It's not FSG, Nicholas. We can't.
So who is it then?
Nicholas, we can't always blame FSG.
No, I'm not blaming FSG.
No,
I'm just saying they could loosen the purse strings a bit.
No, it's not FSG, Nicholas, because the fact of the day, you got to look at this, yeah? If things at the club, all right, if Klopp and they wanted things a certain way, and wanted to do things a certain way and everything that, right? And I bought some things today, Nicholas, I bought some Guinness, yeah? No, alcoholic Guinness, heavy. Anyway, right? If Klopp wanted I think a certain way, wanted the club to run a certain way, wanted the transfers to be run a certain way, and everything that, and FSG weren't doing it, and everything that, right? Trust me, end of the day, Nicholas, right? Klopp is not signing another contract, 2 years extension at that. The most you probably get out of it, if he does, you know what I mean, will be a year. But he certainly won't sign a 2 year. So you want to sign a 2 year contract for that. So what that tells me, because at the day, right, is Klopp is happy with what's going on. Klopp's happy with what's going on. So you can't just blame FSG and say,
no, I'm not. But I'm not blaming FSG. But what I'm saying is they could loosen the purse strings a little in terms
FSG
of.
Probably, sorry to cut across to you. FSG are probably saying to Klopp, Nicholas, today, right? Mark was FSG probably saying to Klopp and everything that, right? Is that yeah, man, we'll give you money to do this and give you money to do that and everything that. And Klopp's refusing it. Klopp's refusing and saying, no, man, it's all right. We'll just get this player. We'll just get
at the end of the day.
This player and we'll be all right. And if anything, I can bring up some youth from the academy. Klopp will say that because you got to think about it. All right, you got to think about this. Check this down, Nicholas, today, right? FSG, all right. If we're gonna blame FSG, yesterday at the day when we had 3 defenders out in the thing that, right, and we was boarding at the club and they to sign defenders in the transfer window and the thing that, right, and they was taking the time and the thing, and in the end, what they got a guy called Cabot and the thing that, right, which is shit. Yeah, and they've got some holograms.
He saved us on a couple of occasions, but carry on.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That is a bit strong. It was a bit strong because he wasn't bad, and he tried his hardest and everything. But he just obviously wasn't up to the caliber. Yeah, right. They got some guy like us. Excuse me. They bought some guy from Sheffield United, which never played a game. Never played a game. No, not Sheffield United. From Preston. Bought some guy from Preston. Never played a game with a fan. What the fuck are you doing buying something for Preston to be a defender? There's a reason why Preston in the championship and can't get up here and that because they can't fucking defend. You know what I mean?
Then again, you could then say that they did the same with getting hold of Andy Robertson from Hull when he'd just been relegated.
No, because you got to check it now. Andy Robertson and they had Premiership experience, and that's what he was going for. Premiership experience and everything like that. You know what I mean? Because there's many clubs at the day that buy players at the day from clubs that go down. They go down and everything that. They raid their clubs and everything that. So that ain't shit because he's been in the Premiership. You know what I mean? And he's got that Premiership experience. But this guy, whatever his fucking name, I don't even know his name. Yeah, I call him Mr. Hologram. Right? Yeah, he had no Premiership experience. He's just been in the Championship. But what I'm trying to say is that when Klopp was screaming out and everything for that and everything that, and they've got these people in at the end of the day, at the last bit and everything that, right? And in the end, everything that Klopp used to come out for a few games and everything that, right? For a few games and everything that, but he mostly had that Kai Williams and Nat Phillips, anyway. He mostly had him, and Nat Phillips and name was quality. Anyway, so he mostly had them man there. You know what I mean? If that was the case, and if it was all FSG fault and everything that, right? My man would have gone for a long time, dog. Mine would have gone. It's obviously he's complicit. He's complicit in what's going on. Because remember at the day, the club at the day is saying to you at the end of the day, dog, you know what I mean? They've got you as a manager, so you run the club and everything that. And when it comes to finance, you come to us and we see if we can work out and everything that. So we left him to run the club and everything that, in his backroom staff or whatever and everything that, But what you got to understand is this, I'll say this, right? Is if Klopp wasn't happy at the end of the day, right? He would not at the end of the day sign another contract. And another thing and everything that. We can't always be competing all the time. Be second best. We can't always be losing at the title by 1 point. We can't always be losing fucking Champions League at the day by 1-0 from that, right? We can't always be doing that. And the way that you avoid these situations, because mate, at the day, had we got points at the games that we drew against Tottenham, against Chelsea, against Brighton, I think it's them draws that we got against them Monday. Had we at least at the day pick up maximum points at them things that would have been ahead Man City. Would have been ahead Man City. Remember
but on the flip side to it, you've got to remember that Man City were 14 points ahead of Liverpool, right?
No, and but we was ahead of.
I genuinely don't believe that Jurgen Klopp is saying, actually, I don't need any more money. I'm fine with what I've got. You know what I mean? Because he must know. No, but he must know. He must know what it's like. Hold on. He must know what it's like to lose the league by a point, to lose the Champions League by 1 goal. People don't go and blame FSG for that. They look at Klopp. They think, well, what are you doing? You see what I'm saying? And he's thinking that he needs to do something to ensure that he doesn't sit in that situation again. Yeah.
Yeah, but right, Nicholas, just buying Darwin Núñez, and there's 2 young kids and everything that, right? It's not going to get you to where you want to get to. That's my point. It's not going to get you where you want to get to. And even bringing under 20, a lad or 2 for the under 23s, it's not going to get you to where you want to get to. So really and truly at the end of the day, it's like, right, you're the manager, manage the team and everything that, right? Bring us in the players and everything that, so we can get European goalie and British goalie and everything that, right? We don't want to hear about you falling the hurdle again and everything that, because at the end of the day, well, you may not have the players to actually get over the line. That's what it's come down to. Those two sort of like titles and everything that is that we didn't have the players at the end of the day to get over the line, and we need the players to get over the line. The midfield at the end of the day, right? You've given Milner at the end of the day, right? You've given Milner at the end of the day a year's extension and everything that, right? Yeah. Personally, at the end of the day, right? Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I like it, but personally, at the end of the day, right? You could have probably done without giving him a year. You could probably just say to him at the day, you could probably say to him, like, come upstairs, man, come with coaching staff. Start your coaches thing early and everything that, right? Because really and truly, at the end of the day, now they've done that and everything that, right? Trust me, at the end of the day, they're not going to buy any more players. They're going to more like, that's what I'm trying to say is this. You see what it is? It's all right, he's saying, the man that's saying they're not going to buy any more players and all that. But they're going to get rid of players now. They're getting rid of players now. They're probably going to get rid of Oxlade-Chamberlain and everything that, right? They're probably going to get rid of sort of like Minamino. These 2 players in the man. Curtis Jones might go out on loan. You know what I mean?
Mm.
There's talk about Harvey Elliott probably going back out alone and for that. That's potentially 4 players at the day that you're going to get rid of in your squad and for that. Your squad's going to be running thin. The bench is going to be non-existent. Your bench at the day can be full up with kids again, like it was 2 seasons ago and for that, when it was just full up with kids. Kids at the day that you're not going to frigging play. You're not going to play the way the structure is at the moment. They always say that trust in the process, trust in the process, trust in the process. I'm sorry, I'll be honest with you, I don't trust in the process anymore. You know what I mean? I don't trust it because I've been trusting this process and right of this process for near enough 6 years and everything that, right? And yes, at the day we picked up the Champions League. Yes, at the day sort of like we picked up the league, World Cup and the FA Cup and the League Cup and everything. We picked up medals and everything that, right? But you see what it was with Alex Ferguson? Why I don't get wrong in it. I'm not a Man United fan. I never will be. But real recognize real, great recognize great. I can always respect Alex Ferguson from that, right? Because he wasn't content, Nicholas, in the day with winning the league one time. He wanted to win again and again and again and again. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't see that kind of ambition at the end of the day with Klopp and his people there. I don't see that because they, what's his name? Pep Lindner said the day, right? Yeah. Said something about how he sets the team up and to play, set the team up with a mentality and they to compete, yeah? And the chosen word with that competing, if not to win, but to compete, if that, right? You understand what I'm saying? And if you don't, if you don't win anything for that, you know, we go again next season. You know what I mean? We go again next season for that. And it's not like we'll change up the team and everything and probably go again next season with the same players and everything that. Marley's probably left and everything that. He's probably thinking, number one, hang about, I'm doing bare work in this club in the dog. But if anything goes wrong and everything that, right, I always get the blame. Do you know what I mean? Plus at the end of the day, I'm on lower money than that fella over there. And that fella over there is complaining and everything that, and he probably wants to sign another contract and everything that. You know what? I'm off. I'm gonna go to somewhere in the day where they're gonna pay me and everything that, right? Where my family's and everything that, and I'll probably be more appreciated. Do you know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I don't agree with that at all.
No,
I don't agree with that at all.
Nicholas, anything that went wrong, Marnie's get the blame. Even when at the end of the day, sort of Marnie and then they sort of like had that disagreement with Klopp, when Klopp went up to sort of like shake his hand and everything that, or shake his hand or something like that, anything that argument, and he just like he kind of like ignored Klopp and everything that. Yeah, Marnie got slated for that blood. He was public anyway, Marnie. Yeah. And I was saying, what I was saying today, I was saying is this. Before we slate Marnie and everything that, you don't know what happened before that. You don't know what could have happened, and they could have had a massive row and everything that, right? And just because Klopp's good now doesn't mean he's gonna be good. He's probably still screwing. Do you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, to me, at the day, you know what I mean? He's got a right to ignore Klopp if he's angry with him. He's got a right to ignore anybody if he's angry with them. That's his feelings and everything that. But he got stated, everything we got stated and everything that. Remember in Senegal and everything that, right? People in Senegal and everything that, right? People didn't want him, rather him play for Bayern Munich than play for Liverpool and everything that. Some were seeing everything that the way that Marley was getting treated. But what I'm saying is at the day is this, everything that, right? Klopp said and everything that, right? That we after Coutinho at the end of the day went. After Coutinho went, he said, no more of our big players are going to go like that. They're not going like that. One of our biggest players in that is going to Bayern Munich. And you're telling me,
we don't know. Yeah, but we don't know whether or not that has got something to do with Mane actually wanting to go to Bayern Munich. Yeah, thinking, listen, I've done everything I can with this club. I've got a lot of love for the players, the fans, and the management. yeah, but I think it's time for me to go now. I need a fresh challenge, yeah? And that was the kind of thing he was saying when he left, right?
I
But
don't think he's that, you know,
personally,
to be honest.
no, that's when it gets to
I don't think that. I think at the day that Mane and Day, there's no sort of like getting away from it. You know what I mean? The fact of the day, Mane felt underappreciated at the club. He did feel underappreciated at the club. And I feel that they saw like he thought something, you know what, Munich is the thing, and I think that you understand what I'm saying? Because as with Gini Ronaldo, I think that right. If they really want to keep these players and everything, that they could keep them. They could keep them if we really want to keep this player. Even with Gini Ronaldo, I think that was a prime example. If they really want to keep Gini Ronaldo, I think that right. All they had to do, and it was up his pay by 60,000. That's all they had to do. Do you know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? That's all they had to do. But they weren't prepared to do that. They're prepared, and there's more prepared than they to see him go out on a free than actually sort of like try and get money for him and think that. Do you understand what I'm saying? My argument is at the day, right? When you start doing this sort of things at the day, right, and not attacking a chance for window, because many of like fans have said in the day, right, they're gonna see how FSG, you know what I mean, acts in this window and everything that, right? They're gonna see how it acts in window, and then they're gonna make a judgment on FSG and everything that. Personally, I think they're both to blame. I think at the day, like FSG should probably step in and say, look, I understand we're saying everything that, right, but like I'm not being funny in that, right. You've fallen short of a couple of competitions and everything that, right. Let's see what we can do at the end of the day, right, so we can get part of over the finish line and for that. FSG should step in like that, but they haven't. Klopp's probably going back to them and saying, no, don't worry, man, everything's all good, but we don't need more money for players and everything that, right, and done. And it's done with that. Now, to me, at the end of the day, right, they always say trust in the process, and that, and you trust Klopp and this and that, right? People have done that. I have done that. Many people have done that, I think that, right? But the trophies at the end of the day are not coming quick enough, and I think that we should have won. We should have done a treble last season. There's no doubt about Nicholas. We won the domestic double. Yeah, we should have won the Champions League. We should have won the Champions League in that, right? That was a half-hearted fucking performance in that. The performance was half-hearted in that.
No,
because of the fact. No, it was when you think about it. You know, the only players at the day that you can say at the day were bombastic, gigantic. You know what I mean? Was Konate. He was fucking awesome. Konate was awesome. Trent to a lesser degree, if he didn't switch off, and a little switch off and all that, yeah. Do you know what I mean? But most of the players, you have Firmino in the day, right? Bending down to do his shoelaces up when Liverpool's on attack. When Liverpool's on attack and everything that. Do you know what I mean? Got Firmino in the day, this season and everything, it hasn't been great and everything that, right? But yet we're going to go into next season with Firmino. Do you know what I mean? Freshen it up, man. The side and the day, because the side and the day needs freshening up. That's why Ferguson and the day won all these medals and everything now, because he's constantly freshening up his team and everything now. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. And people are screaming at Klopp and that, right? Freshen up the fucking team. Do something. You're losing Enrique this month. Right, you're losing Enrique. Yeah? You're losing Enrique. That's probably about 10 or 15 goals that Enrique could probably score you. Yeah? Right? If played, yeah? Right? You're losing Enrique. So you lost 15 goals already now, yeah? You're losing Mane, so you're losing about 25 goals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that is something that 40 goals, isn't it? That's 40 goals you lost as well. Then you talk about like people like Minamino that chips in you off about 5 or 6 goal season and that, yeah? 46.
Yeah.
Oxlade-Chamberlain, when he plays and everything that, he could probably get you about 6 or 7. You know what I mean? That's 51 goals at the day you've lost, and you're not willing to replace those goals. You know what I mean? You can't run a team like that.
But then the argument is that he might not need to go out to actually buy a player to replace those goals because his management is doing things and progressing some of the players in-house to actually do the job of an Origi, of an Oxlade-Chamberlain, of a Minamino. I don't think he should sell Minamino. What's that? That would involve me having to go through. Well, first of all, Luis Diaz has got to start scoring next season, and he will.
No, because Luis Diaz at the day is going to be sort of like he's going to be good next season. Don't get me wrong. Luis Diaz is going to be good next season, and to a lesser degree, Darwin Núñez is going to be good. You know what I mean? But what is it, Nate? Right? Your foundations in the day of every attack starts from the midfield. That's your home of your attack. It's your attack, home of your defense, like defensive line, and it's a home of like playmaking, your playmaking line. I think that, right? Without a good defense, in that, right? Trust me, in the day, you can have all the Luis Diaz. You can have all the Diaz you want, all the Darwin Núñez you want, all the Sadio you want, and so on. I think that, right? We ain't winning jack shit because that ball at the day is not getting recycled from midfield fast enough. That ball at the day not get defended in midfield, so you don't concede the goal and such forth and that. And if you're gonna have the same sort of players at the day in your to me, they cater. He's good, but not good enough for Liverpool. He's not good enough for Liverpool. I'm not saying that today he's not a good player. I think he's a good player, but I don't think he's good enough for Liverpool, for where Liverpool want to go. Do you know what I mean? In the ball scheme of things, I think if he went to Spain, Italy, or even Germany, and everything that, right, he'll be large, he'll be wicked, if that. But for what Liverpool want to accomplish at the day in this league and everything that, right, Keita is not good enough for that. Keita can't take Liverpool that there. Do you know what I mean? So then at the day you go out and then there, right? You look at the Portuguese league, you look at the Spanish league, you look at the Dutch league, and that, and you try and find a player at the end of the day, right? That's gonna bring you what you want them to bring you in midfield. You got to do that, and I think that's the whole thing about scouting. You know what I mean? You go out and find that player, and I think that's gonna bring you that team. There's nobody in the under 23s in the day that we haven't seen in the day that's going to do it something special, because they're going to do something special. And it's been unfair in the day to bring something from the under 23s into sort of like high profile games and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? It's unfair. Do you know what I mean? To put that sort of pressure on them. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, winning in the day, right? You need to be going and scouting it. Even go South America. Look at fucking Man City. Man City's brought in some guy called Garcia or some guy that from Argentina and everything that for the Argentinian Cup, and he's supposed to be shit up. He's supposed to be quite good. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. This is what Man City's doing, and plus they got sort of like Erling Haaland as well. And I think that. Do you understand what we're getting at? People like Man City in the day, right, are looking at the day and saying to themselves, well, look. I know they're dodgy. I know they've done this and that, but what their module is in the day, or what do you need, Pep, and then day to win the FA Cup? What do you need, Pep, to win the League Cup? What do you need to win the league? What do you need to win the Champions League? Do you understand what I'm saying? They're going to him and saying, what do you need, and everything that. There has to be some communication between Klopp and the board and everything that to say, look, I need this, and this. And then you're going to get that. You're going to get that and everything that. Nobody ain't talking to each other. Well, they ain't talking right. Do you know what I'm saying? And what is it? Why I'm so frustrated from that, right? We see this every season. Either they don't buy anybody or they don't buy enough. You understand what I'm saying? They don't buy enough. They don't plug key areas that they need to be. They need to sort of like think. Look how long we've been waiting at the day to buy cover at the day for Trent Alexander.
Yeah.
Look how long we had to wait at the day for them to get like cover for Andy Robbo. We had to wait ages for them to do that and everything now. And it comes to a time at the day, enough's enough. So Come on now, man. Seriously, what you doing that again? 1 week into one week into transfer window and everything that you're done. Yeah, I mean.
Well, listen, I hear you. Don't agree with everything you're saying, but I hear you nonetheless. I've got to love you and leave you.
I don't want to be on. I'm an hour to Ross Club.
Right.
You going to come down tomorrow?
No.
It's Father's Day, man. Father's Day got preaching by the ends.
Anyway, I've got to go. I'll talk about that with you later on if I can. Good chat, good vibe. We will speak soon.
Nicholas,
yeah.
Right? So what you want to do for me later, yeah?
Yeah.
Look at you, baby, by the WhatsApp. See if I see you every day and there.
You're so silly. Right, I'm out.
All right, listen, I'm going to call you later. We have a chat later, yeah?
All right, take it easy, mate. See you later. All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, man, just had a little rant, man, because it's just like pissing me off still, you know what I mean? But like, you know, you got to get things off out his system and stuff. You know what I mean? Right, guys, it's now 7 minutes past 5, and hopefully at the day later on, Jamie should be doing a stream. Might be doing a stream there. Oh, just looking at a message, private message. Jamie Phillips chats might be doing a stream later, so I might just jump on that still. But until I see you guys next time, take care and take care of each other. Also, as well, if you can watch this video on a replay, please like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe and share the video. Sorry about the little technical difficulties earlier on, but you know how it goes sometimes. It just happens, isn't it? Okay, guys, I will see you later. And it's been a pleasure having your company. It's been a pleasure you listening to me having a rant. Do you know what I mean? You know how it goes sometimes. Just got a rant. So, guys, I will see you later. Nice to have you guys around.
T-minus 1 minute. T-minus 50 seconds. T-minus 40 seconds. T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,